Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
How would you like to achieve your first million? And today we have Martin Salama, which is the founder of Life Coach. So Martin, tell us, what are the 5 steps to make your first million?
Wow. Well, Harry, let's just jump right in there, huh? Okay.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's a great question. And it's nice to be here. Thank you for having me on your show.
Pleasure.
Before we even get into that, let's say thank you for that. So for me, I put together a program just recently where I help coaches and consultants and entrepreneurs get to 7 figures or $1 million within 2 years or less.
Wow, right? That's brilliant.
Right. And I guarantee it. How's that?
Amazing.
So I put together 5 stages. So the first step for me is Ignite. In stage 1, we help by starting you assess where you are currently in your business and in your life. And we give them this assessment for them to help them figure out exactly where they are. And based on the results, we design a more profit and more life roadmap so that we can have a clear success of wealth and creation before they go forward, right? So at the end of stage 1, you get a prize. We put prizes and finish lines. So the finish line is you complete your abundant life assessment and you have the roadmap that we put out. And the prize is really an emotional thing. You have a clear vision of what life and what living a life of abundant life would be and what it would look like to get to 7 figures in business. All right. How's that for stage 1?
Amazing.
All right, cool. So stage 2, we call Unleash. We help you focus on creating a high impact, high ticket program for your ideal client. Right. So at the end of this, you have it generate. We work it out. We show you how to get through everything so that you can get some quick wins, so that I can even help you get to $50,000 in sales with that new high ticket offer. And you're feeling good about where you're going and you're feeling good about what you're putting together. Right. So that's stage 2. Stage 3 is called Catapult. We help you implement 3 to 5 efficient, scalable systems so that you can delegate routine tasks to your team while you focus on strategic decision-making and long-term planning. So we had designed for you a workshop comprising an opt-in page, purchase page for workshop, all those things. They're designed to help you go further and so that people can understand, know, like, and trust you. And for me, I say it's know, like, trust, and remember you, right? Because all the other stuff. And we help you figure out who your right fit client is, your right fit partners, and stuff like that. So that's stage 3. Okay. Stage 4, we call Empower. We help you extract your genius. We help you implement some lead strategies, 3 to 5 lead strategies to consistently fill your workshop. And we introduce key strategies for your business and your life, right? And really what we're doing here is we're helping you become scalable. Because when you're business, you want to have the right people in the right roles, what we call systems champions, in place so that you can have all your major business systems like you've got generated and help you move forward so that you can take what you're doing, this high ticket offer, and make it work. And you're focusing on what you should do, not on the stuff that you shouldn't be doing, but need to be done anyway, right? Mm-hmm. And then the last one we call Scale. We teach you how to scale your business into a multi-million-dollar, 7-figure enterprise. And now that your business is expanding, we'll help you ready to grow, thriving enterprise and all that. And then we also, at that point, help you get into a mastermind with other like-minded people, not a coaching session, a true Napoleon Hill style mastermind where you have other people, like-minded thinking people that are there to help you do it so far. How's that sound?
Fantastic. That's fantastic. And so Martin, let's dive into your step number 1, which I think is amazing because a lot of people talk about how to deal with failure, but nobody talk about how to deal with success. And sometimes the entrepreneurs, they don't have clarity that this roadmap is going to be, that you guys are going to help them out to achieve, is going to be a roadmap that actually is going to put them in the right track to succeed.
Correct.
Yeah, I think that we see a lot of entrepreneurs that they are full of energy, they're full of they're hungry, like Les Brown said. But when you are in the wrong track, in the wrong path, it doesn't matter how fast and how hungry you're gonna do. If the path is not the correct one for you, it's gonna be a lot of resistance there.
Right.
So, what is the advice do you have? Number one, for people out there that they say, well, I have a coaching business, but I don't need any mentor or need any coach. I can figure out all by myself. I always say never be a coach if you don't have a coach. Yeah. So,
Right.
so tell us, Mati, what message do you have for those entrepreneurs that say, look, I can figure out all by myself, and
Right.
I'm gonna beat the seven figures. The
Yeah.
recent multi-millionaire that I interviewed in this show a while ago asked me a good question. Asked me, Harry, tell me what are the fast point, the fastest way to go from point A to point B. And I told him, look, the fastest way from go to point A to point B is the straight line. And this serial entrepreneur, yeah, with a lot of experience, told me, Harry, no. The fastest way to go to point point A to point B is the path with less resistance. Think about the river, he told me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this sounds very it's very profound what he shared with me that day. Because as entrepreneurs, if we are able to identify the right roadmap and the right path with less resistance, we can achieve faster to our final goal.
100%.
But a lot
Yeah.
of entrepreneurs out there, they say, I don't need any coach, I don't need any mentor. I'm gonna do it by trial and error, which in my experience, because I've been there and done it, is really expensive. And so
Yes,
you
it
try
is.
and try, and like I
Yes, it
always
is.
say, how many times you're gonna see a fly go through the window. A lot of people
Right.
say, don't give up, don't give up. Yeah, well, if you if you see a fly try to go to pass a glass window, it doesn't matter how many times, don't give up, it's not going to go through. He has to change the approach. He had to
Exactly right.
find the right strategy. So what message do you have for these entrepreneurs, Martin?
So the first message I have is something that I say very often. You can go alone, but you can't grow alone. For you to
Absolutely.
grow, you've got to know that you have to surround yourself with the people who can give you the things that either you don't have time for or you don't know how to do. For example, I'm sure you've heard of the great Robert Kiyosaki.
Absolutely, yeah.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So Robert Kiyosaki says, I want to be the dumbest guy in my business. I want to surround myself with the people that know the things that I don't need to know. So I say it like this: that people that know how work with and for the people that know why. Right? That's not taking away from the people that know how, because they have their own why. Right? And they have their team and whatever. So that's where I say you can't do this alone. And you need to have coaches, especially in today. Today, it's become a thing where most CEOs, you talk to them, they've got coaches.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Or
they
the
get it.
successful
They
one.
understand
More
that
than one.
more than one. Right. They understand that if they just keep it all on themselves to build it onto their shoulders, they're not going to get anywhere. So now to the other point about keep on hitting the wall, hitting like the fly, hitting the window. That was me. That was me
Me
for
too.
many years.
Welcome to the club.
Right, exactly. And I
telling you
spent a
from my own
lot of
experience.
money. Spent a lot of money going into these coaching programs where they promised me the moon. They said, oh, it's done for you. It's done with you. But you know what I found, Harry? They were really done to you programs. Right. And I would go there and I would get into these courses and I would do everything I was supposed to do, and it wasn't working because there were things I didn't understand and things that they said, okay, well, that's on you. Go figure it out. And it wasn't a done for you or done with you. So when I built my program, I said, I got to make sure that I address the elephant in the room, because I've been there and I've had that elephant in the room and I've been burned. It felt like it was, we have a saying here in America called bait and switch, right?
Yeah.
Get me in, and then, okay, it's really not everything. So when I built my program that I help coaches and consultants and entrepreneurs get to 7 figures within 2 years guaranteed.
Guarantee. I love that. That's really powerful.
So let me tell you how I do that.
Tell us. We're looking forward to hear.
So most of these people that I was getting into, they were coaching me on information. Right? Now, would you rather be coached on information or on results?
Oh, exactly. Or in implementation and results, right?
And
Which
results.
is what really...
So that's how I built my program. Information is very important. You need the information, but it's not the whole picture. So I built my program in a way that says, okay, I'm only going to charge you 12.5% of the total cost of my program, the total investment of my program. Okay? Because cost is negative. Total investment of my program. And then you don't pay me again until you're starting to make money. And when you're making money, it's until you're making enough that it's 2-to-1 return on your investment, where I've given you twice as much as what you're going to pay me. And then we keep going. And then you don't pay me again until you're to a 5-to-1 return on your investment. And the final one doesn't come till you hit $1 million.
Very good. Right. Very good, Martin, because like this, you see, you're so confident about your program that you put in the stake of the line. And I think that this is a way that it works better for the entrepreneurs, because at the end of the day, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of coaches out there that some of them have been multimillionaire for so long that they even forgot how it looks like to have a startup. This is something very common in the industry.
Right.
It's not that they're wealthy. It's not that they're wealthy. They're very wealthy, but last 10, 15 years, they have been a multimillionaire for so long that
they lose touch with reality. They lose touch with what's going on around them.
How to go to 0 to 1, which is where everybody's failing, and what is the core of any business, coaching business or any business, is to get your product market fit, to find that what would be your unique selling differentiation, your gap that will get you to 0 to 1. Because if you don't go to 0 to 1, you don't have product market fit. If you don't have product market fit, you're not going anywhere. And this, I can give you a lot of information. I can give you hundreds of books. It doesn't work like that. Why I would say, Martin, being an entrepreneur is a skill. The more you practice, the better you become. It's like driving, it's like swimming. Yeah, if I give you a book about swimming or about driving, unless that you start to drive and to swim, you're not going to learn. And if you have a mentor that is swimming next to me, or driving this car next to me, it's going to help me to get the skill there. So I applaud you for designing
thank you.
Very comprehensive.
I call it a risk reversal strategy.
I love it because
why? Because the risk is reversed. It's on me to make sure that you do your work. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get there. But if you don't get there, I'm going to, I have 2 other guarantees. One is there's going to be chaos. Things are going to go crazy. And be ready for it.
That's business.
That's business. And 2, here's the other one. If you don't give up on you, I won't give up on you.
Absolutely.
I'm going to keep coming back. I'm going to keep saying, hey, let's do this. Because 2 reasons. One, the people that get into my business, when they get in, it's not me chasing them saying pitch and pursue. It's they've come to my workshops. They've found me. They've come to they've seen me on a podcast, and they come to me and they say, I'm in if you'll have me. Right? They're coming to me and saying, I love what you're doing here, and I see your authenticity, and I want to be part of it. So it becomes a thing of, I want them to succeed for 2 reasons. One, because I care about them, and I want them to succeed, and I believe in what they're doing, and they believe in what they're doing. And then 2, the other one is selfish. If they succeed, then I succeed.
Absolutely. This is the core of this. And I think that, if we really want to help people, we have to work with them. And they need to understand the process that they're getting into, because the other misconception that we have in the industry is, they hire a coach and they want the coach to build the business for them.
Right.
And
Exactly.
it doesn't work because they do have to develop this skill. It's like,
Yep. Yep.
I don't know. It's like an athlete. It's like a Usain Bolt said to the coach, "Okay, run for me."
Right. If the coach could run as fast as Usain Bolt, he'd be running.
The coach can help in the techniques, can get them in the strategies, can keep him accountable,
And help him with
to
the
the high
psyche.
performer, with the psyche, with the psychology, with the mentality. But the runner has to be ready to win. And
Right.
some people, because they don't have that drive, yeah. Sometimes they think, oh, you know what? I just pay and I forget about it, and Marty is gonna make it for me. So that's why
Right.
it's important to exactly before we bring them in to make sure that they have, like you talk about, the right mindset. Yeah,
The right mindset.
like they're
Exactly.
really
Now, that's
getting
an
into.
important part that you brought up, Harry. It's a
Mm.
very important part that I want to touch on for a minute here.
Go for it.
So I believe that there's 3 steps to get to become the multi-million-dollar business that you want to be. Step 1 is you have to have the right systems. That's the nuts and bolts, right? How are you going to do things every day? Where is it going to look like? And that starts with the roadmap that we talked about earlier. Then you use that roadmap to help build your systems, and I help them build their systems, right? The second part is you have to have the right mindset, because no matter how much you believe in me and in my system, if you don't believe in yourself, it doesn't matter. So what I do is I give them the systems first. And while I'm giving them the systems, they also get access to my coaching course on how to shift your mindset. And we have a call 3 times a month. First 3 weeks of the month, we call them one-on-one coaching in a group setting, because each time somebody's getting coached, everybody's listening and they're getting coached as well. And we start off the meeting by working on a mindset part of whatever's going on. What's happened for you this week? Let's talk about some wins. Let's give me a 2-word check-in, whatever. And then let's talk about something that might be holding you back so that we can clear it as best as we could. We need to have practical steps for them to be able to clear what's going on. And then the third part, so that can get you to 7 figures. You have the right systems, you have the right mindset. The third part is what we talked about earlier, is being scalable. Because the more scalable you are, the more that you have people around you doing what they should be doing while you're doing what you should be doing, the more successful you'll be.
Yeah, and the like 98%, I would say, of the success of any company is the mindset of the entrepreneur, right? And this is something that is very common, happened to me, happened to everybody that started business, that you start your business, nobody knows you, and then you want to sell, you go out to sell your product, and people ask you for discount, they don't want to buy you, they don't want to pay you, they pay you late, nobody knows you. Then the supplier want to charge you a lot of money from, because again, he doesn't know you and everything. And then all does start to accumulate negative baggage in your mental health, right? And a lot of entrepreneurs don't realize that all this negative baggage, it gets accumulating, and as things are not working, you start to work more, then you start to become exhausted, then you're not sleeping, then you have problem with your wife, problem with your children, you don't have enough time to see them, and nothing is working, and your life is the life becomes a chaos, and this negative baggage this emotional pain can end up with physical pain. You can end up with cancer, or with a heart attack, or with something. I interviewed multi-millionaire the other day with 3 business, and the guy at some point in his life was vomiting blood around all the pressure that he was taking out of all these multi-million pound businesses, and he didn't allocate time for himself. He's not analyzing all that pressure, and now the guy is until the point that he told me, Harry, you know what? When I started to vomit in blood, I said, I'm running this business. This business is not running me. So the guy took off, went off one year to travel the world, and now he's happy, wealthy. All his business are again continue to be successful, and he had completely different life. Because let's face it, Martin, the business can literally kill you. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know
no
that
question.
because when I built
Yeah.
my first property business, I remember that at some point, all the clients wanted to speak with me. I want to speak with Harry. I want to speak with Harry. There were like 177, and I'm thinking in the office, if all these people want to speak with me, they're gonna kill me. I'm not gonna have time to sleep. These people are gonna kill me. I'm only one person. They want to speak with me because they want I don't know, they want to leave early the room, they want to pay less, they want to anyway, and they know Harry the decision maker, so let's talk to Harry. They didn't want to speak with anybody to the point that I hired someone and said, listen, you are Harry. So everybody wants to speak with me will speak with you, and then we take it from there because only you speak with me.
Right.
Because why the people gonna kill me? So Martin, if the business literally can kill you if you don't do this first step, which I think is very important, what you just share, having the roadmap, but also how the life is gonna look like in a 360 way, where you
Right.
have the right mindset to build, so you're prepared to handle the 6 figure, 7 figure, whatever, but also have that balance in your life that will get you to the next level.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And it's all about that. It's a balance about understand. I don't like the word work-life balance because it's never exactly even. There are times that biz work needs to take more time, times how life needs to take more time. But it's like understanding that you have to have a little bit of everything in your life. Sometimes more of this, sometimes less of that, and all that. And
And
one
sometimes
of
you
the
have to put
things,
a lot of time in the business and at the
yeah,
beginning and
right,
whatever.
exactly,
But people need to understand that not always gonna be like that.
right.
As soon as you manage to switch the situation, it's gonna come the payback, and the payback is amazing.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. So yeah, one of the things I do is, so often when I was getting into these other coaching programs that I thought were going to, I would go to these 45-minute webinars and they tell me just enough to get me excited to want to go in. And I was like, but I don't even know what I'm getting into. Right. But I was, I have what they call as shiny object syndrome. You know that? Oh, this looks great. This is good again. Oh, that, and I have to, I had to teach myself not to be like that. So when I was building my own program, I said, what I want to do is I want to put out a workshop, not the 45-minute webinar, a 4-hour deep dive workshop where I basically pull away the curtain and show everybody everything that goes on. And then when the end of it, say, if you want it, since you stayed till the end, I'll give you the recording. And if you leave me a recommendation on LinkedIn, I'll also give you the slides that I did. Why? Because I'm being totally transparent with them. How much more are they going to want to know and want to be part of it? And then what I did is I said, so many times I get these emails. Oh, come to this webinar. It's free. Right. And then I sign up and I forget about it because it's free. I don't care. So I decided I'm going to charge for my workshops. So I charged $27. But then I said, I'm going to take it to another level because no matter how much I get people in, it's not about the money for me in the beginning. It's about making sure that when they come, we have a good relationship and that the right thing, like we talked about earlier.
Oh, they're committed. They're committed.
Right. So now they'll come because they paid the $27. But I said, you know what?
If you
Instead
don't
of me
put,
making,
I think that if you don't put money down, you're not serious. Yeah.
exactly. But here,
When you're
listen
serious
to what I
about
did here.
something, when you're
Harry,
serious
listen to
about
what I
something,
did
you put
here.
money down.
What I said is instead of paying me, make a donation to the organization I'm involved in called the Gift of Life. So the Gift of Life is an organization that helps people who maybe need a bone marrow transplant or stem cell. And I was lucky to be somebody who donated stem cells to save somebody's life.
Wow, amazing.
So now, and they didn't ask me for any money. They only asked me to sit down and take the blood. And the person who got the stuff, the blood from me, the stem cells didn't pay. So this organization, Gift of Life, does all that. So I said, you know what? Make a donation to Gift of Life for $27. Now you're going to pay attention because you paid, and you're going to feel better about it because you made a donation.
Yeah. I think that, Martin, there is a way that basically, we are in the era of information and all those courses. I mean, everybody's entitled. They believe that the information is valuable a lot, and design the coaching program. But actually, if you really can get results for your clients, this is a program that speak for itself. And at the end of the day, it's amazing when you help someone to succeed. Is something more. You get paid in another currency, which is better than
It's
money.
it's so satisfying.
You pay, so yeah. Tell me about it.
Right.
Sometimes I'm in the metro. I wear these colorful shirts all the time. So people that see me in the stations around the world, they do know me.
Right.
And sometimes, when you have meet in London, sometimes you have to take the metro. It's not like US that you guys drive everywhere. Over there, you have to take a metro to arrive faster. And sometimes in the metro, somebody's like, Harry, is that you, man? That you, man? Look, this is my business. Let me show you a picture of my family. I was there. You remember this Les Brown event you spoke? Man, I was there in the second floor, and I did what you said. Look, this is my business. We're very happy.
Wow, how
Let's take a
fantastic
picture,
is
this
that?
and that. And at the moment looks a little bit embarrassing, with a lot of people looking at you and everything. But after, you take a picture with these people that honestly I don't even know what talk it was and where they were. But what is very interesting is, that they arrived to my house and I'm saying, wow, it's amazing that because of something that I say, actually this person took action on it, and now
Yeah.
he's happy, he's wealthy, his family, these people, never, they will never forget you.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
wow, you get paid with a hug, with a smile,
Right.
with an amazing currency that give you a lot of fulfillment. I think money is not gonna give you fulfillment, but this type of thing, when you change people's life, when you are
Yes.
the path of the resource to improve and to make a transformation in people's life, I think this is why we do what we do, right?
Exactly. 100%. 100%. I agree with you 100%. And thank you for sharing that with me. It's unbelievable when I go on these calls with my clients and they come back with their successes and they say, I wanted to make sure I did everything so that I didn't disappoint you. I'm like, no, it's not about disappointing me. If you had your homework and you did it, it's because you're not, so that you don't disappoint yourself. And if you want to use me as the catalyst for it, great, fantastic. But it comes down to what we're talking about is you got to put your money where your mouth is, right? And that's what I'm doing. I'm saying, okay, you want to go far? Great. I will go as far with you as you're willing to go. But
Yeah.
you do
People
the
get
work and I'm
disempowered
there.
very easy when they're in business. Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
some people, some entrepreneurs that they have a small setback and they already want to quit. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm gonna come back to my job. And I'm thinking like, man, if this is just this small setback and you're thinking like this,
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
be ready
Exactly
because
right.
this is just the beginning. So
Right. Right. And you know what? I've had people come along and say, you know what? It's not for me. I'm like, okay, that's on you. I'm here for you if you change your mind. I don't say that's on you to them. I go, look, you don't feel it's just for you. That's okay. We love you. You want to come back and figure it out? We'll do it. You want to change what you're doing? Come up with a new way of doing it? We'll help you do that. We
yeah,
want
but
you to
here's
be
the thing.
successful.
After they quit, and then what they do, they go and find a job, and guess what happened? They try to make them in this job very comfortable until one day he's not needed anymore or she's not needed anymore, and they're gonna say, "Look, you're
Yeah.
fired, and now you are with 40 years old, with 45 years old, and you only have one specific skill that you know,
Yeah. One skill set.
and a specific skill set."
Yep. Yep.
With you, Martin, or running, learning about business, eventually, uh, you're learning a lot of skills.
Uh-huh.
And eventually it's gonna work. I think that especially if you have a mentor, you have a coach. Sometimes those and sometimes you need a mentor to tell you, listen, it's not working, give it up. Yeah, I open one of my
Yeah.
brilliant disasters
No
idea.
question about it. I talk about that all the time is if you're emotionally attached to the outcome,
Absolutely.
that's when things won't work. That's the law of attraction coming in and playing games with you. Right. People say, oh, the law of attraction doesn't work. I'm like, well, because you're not using it right. And so I wrote a book, by the way, called Warrior.
Oh, sure it was. Let me see the cover. Warrior to Warrior. Yeah.
Right?
Wow. Tell me the subtitle, 7 Steps to Uncover the Warrior Within and Life Incredible. Ah, wow. I love it.
Right. Thank you. And life stands for live incredibly full every day. So one of the things I talk about is what I call the cycle of ACE. Ask in your brain that to come up with an idea. Even if you come up with an idea, oh, I have a great business idea. That's the ask part of it. It could be, oh, God, could you please help me? God will help you, but there's another step. The next step is act. What are you going to do to get that to work? How many times have you heard people say, I came up with that idea that guy's making millions of dollars. So what'd you do with it? Nothing. I thought about it and I went to sleep. Okay, but he thought about it and put together a plan and made it happen. And now he's selling millions of dollars of it.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the second part, act. And then the last one, attitude. You have to have a mindset of that you are not emotionally attached to the outcome. Because when you do, if there needs to be changes, you're not ready to change because, no, I got to keep doing what I'm doing. No, it's the world, it's the universe, it's God sending you a message. You need to make a change.
Yeah.
Because if you keep doing it the way it's going, it may not work. And if it doesn't work, you're going to blame everybody else.
Sometimes you didn't even understand what's going on. Look, I have one brilliant idea, one with total disaster. Yeah, I said, okay, I'm gonna open I call it, imagine I didn't have any clue. Yeah, I don't know how to cook. Yeah. And I opened a restaurant in London and I call it Harry Spanish Tapa, and Spanish tapas. Yeah. Thinking about it today about branding, it was better to call it Lola or Pepe, like a Spanish name. No, I call it Harry Spanish Tapa. I mean, if you confuse them, you lose them. Even from the name, the whole thing was a disaster. Yeah.
Right.
From that name. But then what happened, I started this restaurant and boy, it was not working. No way. I lost 200,000 pounds and 2 years of my life there. I lost my girlfriend that I had back then. My other business also collapsed because of this, because I was paying all the attention to this restaurant. But something interesting happened. I was so emotionally attached to this business. I remember the moment my girlfriend back on the day, she was an entrepreneur. And after I opened the restaurant, in a month, he told me, Harry, this is not working, close it. And I'm like getting angry. I'm like, why this woman is telling me that? I'm gonna make this work. This is gonna work. And then I'm inside this ego. I'm making the restaurant about me. And I'm going Monday to Sunday for 2 years of my life, trying to make the thing work. And the thing didn't work.
Right.
And I try everything that I can.
But you were blinded by your emotions.
I was blind. I was emotional attached. It was like my baby. Somebody speak about this business doesn't make any money.
Right.
I'm getting angry with the person.
Right. You're thinking you're telling me to kill my baby.
Exactly. I'm not giving up my baby. And until I remember, I cried very little in my life. But the day that I closed this restaurant, I cried. But the lesson was so intense that sometimes the worst day in your life become the best day in your life, because I realized I never understand, and I didn't want to listen the people with more experience than me telling me what it didn't work. The whole point was that I was way too early and it was expensive to keep it up. After I closed my restaurant, 50% I was giving alternative food to a street in London that called Brick Lane, that all is curry houses, and then I put an alternative food. But I was the only one who was way too early, so people were waiting. As soon as I left, 50% of the people went there and they changed the lineup forever of the street forever. Right. Now everybody's there but me, Anyway, but the point of the story is that
you were emotionally attached.
How can you articulate with the entrepreneurs? Because I've been there. And when you are so emotionally attached to the business and you're making about you and you making, I'm going to make it. And again, I was this fly against the window. Yeah. And there is no way that it's going to work for a lot of factors that now I know after so many years of entrepreneur. But back on the day, I was very young. I didn't have any clue.
Right.
very little about business, and I couldn't realize why the thing was not working.
Yeah.
So how you work with the entrepreneurs to pass with the mindset? Maybe they have a restaurant, maybe they have a location, maybe what they just need is just a spin. Like, you know what? Do it take away, change the strategy. It may be, all entrepreneurs that I have interviewed, over 500 so far in this broadcast, no one designed the product exactly how the client wanted. No one. So you design a product and your idea, you think it's gonna work. That's completely different ball game what the client's gonna buy.
Right. There's a famous saying, Harry: man plans and God laughs.
So
right?
Martin,
because nobody's plan goes exactly as they say. If you go to Bill Gates or Steve Jobs, who passed away, whatever, all these people, you think it went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 1, 3, 7, 12, 1, 8, 4, -2. It was all over the place.
So then, Mati, but how you can have this conversation with the entrepreneur that they actually rely on you, that they actually listen, because you're telling them for a reason. You're telling them you want them to suffer because you have been there. The advice that you're giving them or in your coaching program is because it doesn't come out of the sky.
Right.
You have been before they fly against the window, so you know what is coming. And
exactly.
But sometimes I'm telling you, because I was very young, I was not listening to anyone. So how can you work with entrepreneurs so they actually, despite that they are young, despite they don't have experience? I didn't have a mentor though. I didn't have a coach though when I had the restaurant. So what conversation can you have for entrepreneurs to tell them, either you're young or you have experience, to work with you and to start to understand that this is something that you're there just to release the pain, just to remove this resistance.
Right. So that's built into my program. It's built into what I do. First thing is, before anybody comes in, I want to see if they're right for me. I want them to see if I'm right for them. So we have a strategy session where we go through and I find out what's holding them back, what's going on, where do they want to go, where are they now, where do they want to be. We build that dream, we build the understanding. What's your why? To me, why stands for what's hurting you, WHY, what's hurting you, right? And we get into that. And then I show them what my business is. I show them what we can do together. Then once they're in, we have these coaching calls 3 times a month. And, where we have these group coaching calls where they come in, they bring their issues, they tell me what they're doing, and we work on it together. And I said it's a one-on-one in a group setting. And then we also have things like Slack, which is a great app where people could come in there, ask questions, and get answers, not just from me, but from their other people that are in there.
From the community.
From the community, right? And then as they're growing, we want to make sure that they continue to grow. So we put them into a group with a mastermind, a true mastermind, Napoleon Hill style, where it's a bunch of people on a Zoom call, and each one brings their issues and they get into spotlight to sit in the spotlight seat. I don't call it hot seat, and then we talk about what's going on in their business and we help them. It's not one guy saying, okay, let me tell everybody else what to do. No, it's a shared community because everybody gets involved. And then we look to even make strategic partners with each other. I'm always looking for strategic partners. I'm always looking for referral partners and I'm always looking to become somebody's referral partner because you don't know. As long as I believe in what they're doing, why not? Why wouldn't I promote them? And if they believe in what I'm doing, let them promote me too and get paid for it. There's a lot of ways to make money out there, man.
That's the nature of business. And also, let's talk about the power of the mastermind, because there is something that sometimes we find in shocking, but this is the reality, is that the problem that is for me is not a problem for somebody else.
Right.
So sometimes I have these problems. I don't know. Let's suppose I need to find clients. And my clients are, I don't know, in a particular industry. But guess what? Somebody else already can have a database with everybody there in that particular industry, and they don't compete with you. And whatever is your problem is not a problem of somebody else. So if you
because they have different perspectives. They have a
exactly.
different perspective. So 100%, I agree with you 100% there.
And
Yeah,
then,
Harry.
you know, the one of the fastest way to grow any business is what you could call it the strategic partnerships. You know, you can have someone that have your they have your potential client, but they don't compete with you, right? So, and that's the other way that any business can create
Right.
different stream of income. Let's talk about that because the people think that in order to make 1 million, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna develop this product and I'm gonna sell it, and nobody talk about multiple stream of incomes. And I think that this is a way that can get you
Yes.
faster because if you design a solid in a roadmap, a solid a structure that you can have multiple streams of income, you know what? When
All your eggs are not
if
in
you
one
don't have too
basket.
many clients, they're buying a lot of things from you, so
Right.
you
Right.
make a lot of
And
money,
then all
and
your
then
eggs are
more
not in one
clients you can
basket.
sell
You
to
have
also.
different things to do it. Right.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, I'm jumping over you. But yeah,
Oh,
it's if you have all of your eggs in one basket, right? And that basket falls apart, all the eggs will break. But if you
100%.
have all the eggs in you know, a little eggs in this basket, little eggs in this basket, little, if one of them breaks, you're not dead. You
Yeah.
go to the next one. You say, okay, what happened? And let me figure it out and go on, or figure it out and make it go better.
But they can go and tell you, oh, wait, Martin, no, I'm not going to do this. I have this product. I want to say this product. I want to focus on that. I don't want to do
That's
multiple
the
things.
attitude. That's the cycle of age. That's the attitude. Okay, man, go. You're on your own. What can I tell you?
Yeah, or we have to work in the mindset. I think
Right,
that
exactly.
there is some what is it? There is always something in the entrepreneurs, you know, like man, you know, when you go in business, it's not about you, and definitely I know people that they prefer to be right and poor. Yeah,
Yeah,
I prefer to be wrong and rich.
exactly. I'm with you there.
You see what I
100%. I'm
mean?
with you.
I'm not interested whatsoever to be right, and
Yeah.
so it's a mindset, yeah. But I think Mati, that our goal, yeah, is try to somehow hold them back and create, you know, spaces for them to understand because I've been there, yeah. And I tell you, it's hard. It's hard when you have this mindset, you know, this is my business. I'm the boss. Everybody has to do what I say. I'm gonna make this
Okay.
work. And because of lack of experience or whatever, or people are too young or whatever, they go into business with this mindset. And boy, it's painful. It's painful.
It is. It's very
When
painful.
things
I've
go
been
wrong,
there.
you lose
We've
a
been
lot of
there.
money. Been
Yeah.
there, done it. I know, and I wish that you know in the uh that I haven't behaved like this when I was young, but I did behave like that, and so some of like the restaurant I told you it was a total disaster. Total
I've
disaster.
had disasters in my life, Harry. I've had
Yeah.
many disasters.
Yeah, but
I've
I
had
think,
many
Martin, we don't have
failures.
these disasters. We won't be able to talk with the young people to tell them, listen, I'll prove it to you. You think that I'm telling you something I haven't done, but I'm telling you this is because
Right.
we have the experience. We have the so I'm a great believer, Martin. Just what you said, create a multiple stream of income because you like you know referrals, like you said, the strategic partnership,
Right.
introducing other people. So everybody that have they can have a product, but they can have other sources of income because you never know. The market can change, the technology change, and even your product is constantly
Yeah.
improving and
Everything's
changing
changing.
because
Everything's
you need
changing.
to listen what your clients want to buy. Yeah,
Right. If you don't change, you don't grow. If you don't grow, you die.
yeah, and it's so also Martin, it's very important. I think that sometimes entrepreneurs have a put a product out there, and they love the product so much that they don't want to shape it. So maybe the clients are giving you signs. Listen, if you do it like that, this is something I'll potentially buy, but they say, no. This is my pro. You either buy it or don't buy it. So how we can communicate effectively to entrepreneurs that pro that they develop or that pro they want to sell is
It's not worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Not
something
working.
that you're gonna
Right.
that you have to put out there, and you
Right.
have to have your ears very open what the market say about your product, and if you have to pivot, if you have to change it, if you have even to remove it and create something else, we might
Right.
be able to do it. But the entrepreneurs are very resistant to do that.
Yeah. Now that comes with building a relationship with somebody, letting them understand, especially as a coach, you let them know I'm here to support you and I'm objective, right? But if you want the support and the objectivity, you've got to be ready for this, for the understanding of when I see something that I don't believe in, right? But you have to show them it's their emotion that's driving it and it's not logic. And you do that by caring for them where they are. And sometimes it's holding them accountable. And sometimes it's saying, well, I'm holding you accountable, but you're not doing what you need. Maybe we need some time apart so that you can see what works for you. And maybe it's not me, maybe it is me. And then come back to me. Sometimes, there's a song if you love something, let it go, right? And then come back to you if it's supposed to. So it's the same thing here. It's just understanding that the more emotionally attached you are to the outcomes, the more of a failure you'll feel about yourself because you are not willing to change. And sometimes failure is good. Most of the time, failure is good.
Oh, tell me about it. All my biggest lessons in business hasn't been achieved when I was making money and everything was fine. When I lost a lot of money, oh boy.
Yeah,
This is
absolutely.
when you learn and you never
Absolutely.
forget. Yeah, this is this restaurant was, I think, 15 years ago. I'm still telling you the story. You know what I mean? So
to you, it's like it was yesterday. It's so
absolutely.
Right. So
I
of course.
remember vividly.
Yeah, 100%. I have stories like that too. So yeah, man. Yeah.
So Martin, but the other thing is that entrepreneurs don't realize that the whole point to do this is to make ourselves obsolete, is to make ourselves
Exactly.
actually
What's your exit plan?
the whole point is that the thing run by itself without you.
Yeah.
That you can actually go on holiday if you want to go to the business. This also happened to me as well. One of my business, the property business, I went one day to the office and the people told me, Harry, go home, we don't need you. I'm like,
Right.
what? You have
Yeah.
paper in the photocopy, you don't need me. I said, go home, go on holiday. You don't need to come here anymore. The business is fine. We run this without you. You need to come
Fantastic.
here. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, these people are kicking me out.
Well,
But
Harry.
but the feeling is amazing. The feeling
Yeah.
is that day when I left the office, I didn't know what to think, honestly. I was like, I'm not needed anymore. And I'm thinking, this is a good thing or a bad thing. And for a moment, I thought that was a bad thing, but then
that was your ego. That was your ego coming in.
Yeah, I say, what?
Right,
I'm going on holiday.
Right. So if you notice, I said we meet 3 times a month, right? When I have my meetings. Why? Because I want them to understand the last month of the week. I want everybody to be able to take off from their business.
Absolutely.
And it still grows. So if I'm putting that in from the beginning, saying this is the plan, we're going to only meet 3 times a week. They're going to understand that the 4th week, maybe not today, but tomorrow or the day after, I might be in a position where I don't want to work that week. And if I don't want to work that week, I don't have to. And because I don't have to, I'm not having my call. So I'm setting
They're getting trained into
now.
that ability that, because
exactly.
And then Martin, I tested, and true story, the business was working better when I was away than when I was around. You know what I mean? Because you build that culture, you build that that trust into your employees. That I think that they were feeling that that the company belonged to them as much as they belong to me.
That's beautiful.
They could literally run it amazingly without me being there at all, and it's amazing when you achieve this. But this is the ultimate goal of the entrepreneur. I think some entrepreneurs go to the idea that, okay, I'm doing this business and I'm gonna be the boss and I'm gonna telling everybody what to do, and this is who I am and this is what I represent and this is what I do all the time. And that have nothing to do what actually, if you want to build a multi-million pound business, it's gonna work. Like the example, like my cousin, I have a cousin that have a refurbishment company here, and he's saying client no, because he wants to take the jobs only that he is doing the refurbishment with his team. And if he's not around with his team, he's not doing the job and he's telling the client no, he's telling the client to wait. I'm telling to my cousin, listen, what are you doing telling your clients no? You crazy? And this is number one. And number two, you telling your clients no, or you telling your client to wait? I'm like, you crazy? And number two, the more you go and you work along your team doing the refurbishment, the more you devaluing your business, because you're removing the value of your business, because if you're not there, the thing doesn't work, or you have to supervise on everything. This is not how we want you to, your mindset to be an entrepreneur. We want you to be able that the whole thing run without you. Yeah. So you go there just because you want to, not because you have to. Yeah.
Right.
So Martin, how is the process in your coaching program that prepare the people from the beginning and say, listen, this is what we're doing here. We want you to, at the end of the road, you want you to make 6 figures, but after that, we want you to become obsolete, and we want the whole organization run.
100%, because that's
how
where
they
the
taking it.
scalability.
How they taking it when you're telling them this?
If they take it in a way where they don't want them, then I'm not bringing them into my coaching business. I'm not gonna coach them, because that means they're not coachable.
Absolutely.
Right. And coachable means that you take directions well and you understand that somebody might know better than you. Right. And if you're doing the same thing over and over again and not getting the results, it's time to make the change. So if they're not willing to make that change, one of my first clients came to me and she said, before she came in, she said, are you going to change what I'm doing? Are you going to change my program? I said, I can't answer that question. I don't know what your program looks like, but I'll tell you this. We had a mission. We went through it. I said, I'll tell you what, start the program and let's see where it takes us. And what ended up happening is I was able to take my program and her program and show her how, with my ideas, her program could be much more successful. So she appreciated that. She gave me a great testimonial. She's building a fantastic thing. She's working with women who are affected by domestic violence.
Oh, wow.
Right. So she's coaching women to coach other women.
Wow.
On domestic violence.
Wow.
So I said, I'm curious. I said to her, you're coaching a woman who's going to coach other women. Whoa, you are obviously, you know what you're doing. You've been through this. You've had family members go through it, and you understand the emotional part of it. But you're going to have women that come along who don't want to be coaches, but they want your services. Would you be willing to coach those people? She said, absolutely. I said, great. So then we've just built multiple streams of income.
Very good.
You have your lower ticket price, lower ticket item, still a high ticket item that costs $10,000. Okay. And we build in the risk reversal strategy. They pay me only X amount in the beginning, and then as it goes along. But imagine now that woman gets into the program and she's doing it and she's loving that you're helping her. And she goes, you know what? I want to help other people. Mm-hmm. Oh, so you want to now become a coach? Great. Let's bring you into our other program, the $25,000 program. 2 separate programs. I said, so now, and then you'll have women who come along who want you to coach them to be coaches. 100%. Great. Here's my $25,000 program. She's like, wow, I never thought of it that way.
Exactly. You always see, the people, when people play chess, the people seeing the game from outside, they can see it better.
Right.
They're not working in the business, they're working on the business. They can see on the top. So Martin, tell us, where if people like what they are listening about this podcast,
Sure, absolutely.
Tell us where they can find you, how the process works, where they can find your book. You chose the book, but you didn't tell us where can we find it.
I'll tell you all that now.
Tell us.
It's called connectwithmartin.com. How's that? Very simple. Connectwithmartin.com. You can go there and you can click on the link to buy the book. You can click on the link to sign up for my next workshop. I do them like once a month. You could click on a link to get gifts. There's one in there that gives the deeper version of the cycle of A's, so worksheets. I make it very simple. Connectwithmartin.com.
Thank you so much, Martin, for this amazing content that you share with our audience. I really, really appreciate. I do know, and I do think that you really know what you're talking about, and you
Thank you.
are really there to really help entrepreneurs, and you are making a process that is risk-free for them. That you are walking the talk, and you say, "Listen, I'm gonna go with you." And the more you grow, the more you will settle the coaching program.
Yep.
And like this, you are committed because technically you're putting money down because you're not taking your full uh, money. So that's how committed you are to helping your coaches, your clients, that you putting money down. Yeah. They
Yep.
also have to be
Exactly.
committed to put a fraction down. Yeah. So
Yep.
you both now have real money down the line, and or if they're coachable, if they're listen, if they are flexible, if they are open, and if they're also spend time with the mastermind, with the community, that more people grow in the business. I think that you will be able, Martin, to help a lot of people. And
Thank you.
trust me, this help is really needed. We have a really high rate of business failing. We only hear about the successful one, about the failure nobody talk about, but the statistics all over the world are worse and worse, that people give up, the companies give up to become an entrepreneur because they don't find a way. And if they have a mentor like you that can hold the hands,
Thank
that
you.
would be amazing. So thank you so much for your work. Thank you so much for designing this system so easy entry for the entrepreneurs. And for you guys following this podcast, see you in our next episode of Unstoppable, how brave entrepreneur like Martin break that wall and achieve the first million. Bye for now.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.